Hello, my name is Moriah Meyer and I'm an explorer at Winslow Township Fire Department. I've been a part of the exploring program for 2 years now. I joined when I was 15 and I have 1 year left until I graduate. If you asked me 2 years ago, I would tell you that I wasn't planning on staying in the fire department. I was planning on riding the program out until 18. I'd use it to keep me busy, in shape, and helping my community in any way I could. But now, firefighting is all I want to do. And that's thanks to my brother Steve. He joined Winslow Fire Department back in 2011. At that time, I was 8 years old. He'd bring me to the firehouse to check out the trucks. I'd visit him while he would work duty crew shifts. I'd walk in parades with the fire department. I'd clean up the station, and much, much more. I was exposed to the fire service in many ways then. This allowed me to basically grow up in the department. I used to enjoy being there and doing common things, but now I can do extraordinary things as a firefighter. I eat, sleep, and breathe firefighting. It's honestly my greatest passion, and I couldn't do it without the Fire Explorers existing. Joining the program was the best and most life-changing decision I've ever made. I don't know where I'd be if I didn't become an explorer. Not only did joining the post lead me to discovering my greatest passion, but it taught me lifelong lessons that apply everywhere I go, from home to school to the fire department. The lesson we're going to discuss today is obedience, one of the 12 Scout principles. Obedience is to show compliance with an order, request, or law, or submission to another's authority. That's the Google definition, but to me personally, obedience is simply to do what you're instructed or guided to do. But here's the catch. You must have good judgment hand in hand with obedience. Here's an example. Your older brother tells you to steal a candy bar. You'd be obedient if you comply with his orders, right? But you know it's wrong. Not only morally, but legally. In situations like these, you're being obedient to your older brother, but not to the government's laws. Obedience is tricky, which is why it requires good judgment. It is the most important principle within the fire department. For example, in May of 2003, it was a time that obedience was neglected. A firefighter was responding to a call with the Fire Explorer in a tanker. Tankers typically hold 2,000 gallons of water. While responding to the call, the tanker's right wheels left the road, and the driver overcorrected the wheels to the left and it flipped the apparatus. The Explorer was partially ejected from the tanker and in between the ground and the passenger door. The water started to leak down into the ditch and led her to drown. Later on, it was discovered that the driver had been seen in a local bar 15 minutes prior to the response, and he also had a history of alcohol abuse. Both firefighters were being disobedient in this instance. The driver by driving under the influence. The Explorer by not wearing her seatbelt. This situation could have been avoided if they were obedient to the state and department laws. Unfortunately, this tragic event is an example of what not to do. Now that we know the bad things that we shouldn't be doing, let's talk about the good things we should be doing. For example, check your pack during every truck check. It is required. As an explorer, you won't be using your pack, but somebody else may need it. That 20 seconds may save a life. Never take the risk. Always check your pack. Another instance would be on a call. Fire explorers have few restrictions, such as not being allowed inside a burning building or not using power tools. But they actually have the greatest responsibility on the fire ground, the hydrant. Without water flow, you're done. The job requires obedience as well. Those sitting hydrant are directed to radio over before sending water. If they disobeyed those directions, it could lead to serious injury or issues. Obedience isn't required only in the fire department, but it's required everywhere you go, home and school, etc. At home, obedience is essential. I do as I'm told because I understand my parents have best interests in mind. For example, every chore they order me to complete is to help me gain independence and self-reliance. At school, teachers ask me to complete assignments, not just for busy work, but to help me learn and study. They do this to help me expand my knowledge and become academically successful. Obedience is required everywhere you go, not just for fun, but for your best interest and safety. Be smart and obey your parents, teachers, and leaders. Thank you.